desire, the hunger, the will to win.
Hit so hard that
This is what drives you to finish,
Pedraza goes untouched into the end zone.
to dominate. When it's one-on-one on this field, the one with more heart, the one with true will, one who simply refuses to lose, will be victorious. East side, strong side.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville, Texas. K-West bringing you the regular season finale between your Weslaco East Wildcats and the Hanna Eagles. Tonight, we end the season with the Weslaco East Wildcats coming in with a district record of 4-2, and Hanna coming in with a district record of 5-1. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach. Going to bring you all the action from this regular season ending. Of course, we've got playoff implications in tonight's ball game.
Yeah, a lot of playoff implications. Both teams have qualified for the playoffs, so this is what they call, Joe, a seeding game. The winner of this game will get a home playoff game next week against PSJ Bears. The loser of this game will get on a bus and go to Vela and play Edinburgh Vela in Edinburgh. So, you know, Weslaco East played Vela a year ago and did real well, but if you can play a little lesser opponent, why not? So I think this is an important game to both teams. Plus, no one wants to go into a playoff game coming off a loss.
Absolutely. And, of course, you want to start off your playoff run at home. Tonight, of course, is a very special night. Longtime Valley referee Mike Buck retires after tonight after 38 years of refereeing at the high school level.
Yeah, 38 years, great man. In my years as a coach, I would say I was probably on the sideline for about 100 maybe games of his over 1,400 that he's officiated. Mr. Buck is an outstanding young man. I say young man, we're similar age, but he does a great job for Valley Athletics. And here goes Chucky.
Yeah, Chucky just kicked the ball away, and it's in the direction. And it's caught 1 yard deep in the end zone, and the Hanna Eagles are going to bring it out to about the 27-yard line. That is Christopher Cardenas with the return, a good 32-yard return for him. And the Eagles will start off on offense at their own 29-yard line. East did win the toss. They deferred for the second half, so they'll be receiving the ball to begin the second half of play. So we'll begin with the Hanna Eagles on offense. Hanna, of course, their only loss is to San Benito. Weslaco East had back-to-back losses to San Benito and to Los Fresnos, and then they have reeled off 3 wins in a row, so they've got something going on here. Quarterback quickly dumps the ball off to Joe Cavazos III on a little bubble route out of the backfield, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards on that play.
Yeah, out front blocking number 6, Aaron Fausto, holding like a bad dog out there on the edge. No call. Second and about 5.
Well, the quarterback for the Eagles is Victor Campos. Got a good arm. We've seen him play already this year, and he's also deadly when he runs with the ball as well. So he's in the backfield as their quarterback, and Cesar Mancias is in the backfield with them. They're going to send 2 receivers to the right and 2 to the left. They're going to hand it off to Mancias. Mancias bounces this one outside, turns it up, and gets to about the 40-yard line. And depending on the spot, that should be an Eagle first down.
Yeah, Hanna, you know, impressed me the time we saw him early in the year against Weslaco High School. Very explosive on offense. And when they get number 23 involved, Joe Cavazos III, they're even more explosive.
2 plays and a first down for the Eagles. This time they're going to line up with 2 backs in the backfield with Campos, the quarterback. Fakes a handoff to Mancias, and they're going to hand it off to the second. I'm sorry, they're fake it to Cavazos and head off to the second man through, which is Mancias. And he's going to pick up a couple of yards out to the 42, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
Yeah, 48, Robert Vera steps up from his inside linebacker spot to make a nice stop there for about a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8. Hanna right now is just happy being on the ground, it looks like.
Empty backfield for the quarterback. Campos, 3 receivers to his left. Gets up there, barks out a signal, but then decides he's going to look to the sideline to see what's going on. So there's a snap. Another little bubble route. This time it's to Mancias, and he's got some running room. Gets it across midfield inside Wildcat territory to about the 46-yard line. good pickup by the Eagles, and they're moving the chains here early in the ball game.
You know, I don't complain about officials much, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but if you can't get a holding call on number 6, it's going to be a long night.
This time the ball is quickly out into the hands of Christopher Cardenas, and he's going to fight his way for about 3.
Yeah, you got a lot of guys involved on that tackle. You got Jaime Banuelos, got number 26, Carlos Espinosa, got number 43, Gerald Garza, and from his inside linebacker spot, you got Freddie Cardenas. Freddie Cardenas coming over on the tackle.
Mancias in the backfield. They're going to give the ball to him. He breaks a tackle. He breaks 2 tackles, and he's finally wrapped up after getting inside the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, Bonda did a nice job of getting back there, Joe. Mancias put his foot in the turf and cut up the field. Nearly made the first down. It's going to be our first short yardage here. 3rd and 1. Everybody on that offense is dangerous.
Yeah, they've got some weapons on this offense. We've seen them before, like you mentioned earlier, and of course, they've only got 1 loss, and that's the best team in the Valley. This time the handoff is again to Mancias. He breaks a couple of tackles. He's still on his feet inside the 35 to about the 32-yard line, and that's going to move the sticks once again for the Eagles.
Yeah, it looked like number 97, Robert Torres, finally corralled him, but he's making moves, cutting back, and right now the tempo is on the side of the Hanna Eagles.
Hanna again with both running backs in the backfield. This time Campos is going to roll out. He's got some time, gets rid of the ball, and it's caught on the sideline by Joe Cavazos III, and he quickly runs out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, we got a little light sprinkle starting here in Brownsville, making sure we get everything covered up we need to get covered. But it's going to be 2nd and about 7, Joe, after that. Good pressure by the pass rush.
So Campos is going to fake the handoff, get it out quickly to Ramirez. Ramirez in a little hitch route, going to pick up about 3 more yards, and they just keep moving the ball forward down to the 25-yard line. So they're going to be looking at 3rd down and maybe 3.
Yeah, Coach Mark Guess and his staff do a nice job of coordinating this offense and moving the ball forward. I really like a lot of the things they're doing. The offensive coordinator is Esteban Marroquin. Steve Marroquin, former head coach at PSJ Memorial.
He's a Mercedes native. I know the guy. Campos rolls out to his left. He's got some pressure, gets rid of the ball, and it's caught by Cavazos. Cavazos doing a real good job finding an open area where his quarterback can see him, catches the ball, and runs out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So it's going to be another 1st down for the Eagles.
You know, great pressure of the Wildcat defensive front. He's back there throwing under pressure, finds a way to get that off, and that was enough for a 1st down.
Campos looks quickly to his right, and the pass is in and out of the hands of Mancias. But now the question is, was that a lateral?
Yes, it was. If you saw him, immediately the official was pointing to the Wildcat goal line, and actually that ball dropped down about a loss of about 12 maybe.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss of about 12, and really what helped a lot there was the fact that it did go out of bounds because the Wildcats were after that football. Mancias really wasn't sure of whether that was a lateral or not, and he kind of gave up on the play. So here we go, 2nd down and 18 is what the board says. Campos setting up a screen. They get it out to Mancias, and Mancias is hit hard.
And when you see a hit like that, it's usually attached to the jersey of number 3, Freddie Cardenas. Great job there by the Wildcats. That's going to bring up 3rd and really long here. Got to be aware of draw screen again, and you also have got to look for number 23, find him. He's usually involved in big plays.
Well, they're going to credit him with 1 yard on that play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 17. Mancias is in the backfield with Campos, and now he's going to get to the other side on the right side of Campos. 3 receivers down at the bottom of your screen, 1 on the top, and they're going to try to get it to Ramirez, and he catches the ball. Now the question is, was he in bounds? And they're going to say yes, that it is a catch, and that catch was inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, so 24 yards on that play. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 3 for the Eagles.
Quarterback made a nice throw. They beat man-to-man coverage over there. He gets it 1 foot in. Remember, this is high school and NCAA football. You only need 1 in. This isn't Sunday, Joe.
Yeah.
Not the NFL. You don't need 2. And it's going to be first and goal, Hanna.
First and goal from the 3. 7:17 to go in the game, no score. Handoff to Mancias, and Mancias is in the end zone for the first touchdown of the night. 3-yard run from Mancias for the first point, and that is on the side of the Hanna Eagles. Hanna, a drive that started off at their own 29-yard line. They marched down the field and put it in the end zone for 6. On to attempt the extra point for the Eagles is Miguel Payan. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and the kick is good. So it's 7:13 to go here in the first quarter. The Hanna Eagles strike first on their first possession, march down the field, 71 yards, capped off by a 3-yard run from Mancias. Point after by Miguel Payan is where we're at right now. Hanna Eagles 7, your Weslaco East Wildcats about to get the ball for the first time.
Yeah, well, you know, we saw kind of the same thing last week as Wesco East played Harlingen South. It was one team score, the other team score, one team score, the other team score. It's going to come down to getting a stop, getting a turnover. You know, Hanna threw that ball backwards and it went out of bounds. Could easily have been scooped up by the Wildcats. They just need to play offense now and stay with it until somebody makes a mistake.
So, set to kick is Miguel Payan for the Hanna Eagles. Back deep for your Wildcats is Alvaro Medrano. And along with Bones, Hector Sainz is his name. Kickoff is in the direction of Medrano. And he's going to take this one right at the end zone. Cuts out to his right. Makes a move. He's at the 25, still on his feet. Gets to about the 31-yard line. Some good shifty running there by Medrano.
Yeah, a couple of decent blocks there at the point of attack. But Medrano made a nice couple of moves. Nice place to start playing offense here on about the 32-yard line. Here comes Richard Lefevre in the offense. Let's see what Coach Brigette has up his sleeve tonight on the offensive side.
Well, East has been playing some pretty good football. A lot of people have counted them out early on in the season after they lose their big 3. But ever since those 2 losses, they've reeled off 3 wins in a row. And so they're riding high right now. So Lefevre under center. Toss is to Derek Ibarra. He's running out to his left side, and he's hit in the backfield, and that's going to be about a 3-yard loss. Matthew Garcia just ran off the end, untouched, and meets Ibarra in the end zone for about a 6-yard loss.
Yeah, they had one more guy then they could block out there. Derek is not able to get by him, so you start your offensive drive with a -yard play, not what they were looking for.
Right, they leave 7 on the play, and there's a flag. It looked like the right side of Hanna jumped off sides, but we'll wait to see what the guys in the striped shirts tell us. Well, they lost some yardage on the first down play. They get it back here.
Oh, yeah. You know, Coach Brigette, Richard's a veteran now. They've got a way of getting 5 yards. If you're trying to guess the snap count, they'll make you pay.
Richard Lefevre, his 3rd year as a starter under center, the quarterback for these Weslaco East Wildcats. Medrano and Sainz on the right side of the field. Empty shotgun for Lefevre. Medrano in motion. He's going to keep it. He's going to run up the middle, and he's across the 40 to the 45-yard line. Richard Lefevre with a big run for the Wildcats.
Yeah, big wrinkle put in there. Run Al Medrano across like you're going to run the speed sweep. Block it like you're going to run the speed sweep, and have Richard keep it up the middle. About a 12, 15-yard gain there, Joe. Good carry for Rich.
So 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 46-yard line. He's going to keep the ball again. He's still on his feet, and he's going to get to the 49-yard line. Some tough running, but a good 3 yards there for Richard.
Yeah, they were all in his feet, the Hanna defensive front. Nobody wants to hit him up high. I don't blame him. But that's taking it ahead for about 3 yards. Here comes the tight end, and here comes Josh Gonzalez into the backfield.
Well, Coach, I don't know if you noticed that, but they put in a big offensive lineman, a guy by the name of Luis Ortiz.
Oh, good name.
Yeah. So we'll see what they're expecting a little bit more running from Richard. So I formation, the toss is made to the back in the deep back, and that's going to be Josh Gonzalez. And he's going to get across the 50 to the 45-yard line. Good 6-yard run there for Gonzalez.
Yeah, nice job out in front. You got the edge that time. You know, it's hard to play this against this offense because you've got the inside run and you've got the outside run, and you also have got a fairly good passing game. So it's hard. You got to play honest or they'll make you pay.
Yes. Plenty of weapons still on this Weslaco East Wildcat Ball Club. So here they break huddle, 3rd down and 1 from the 45. I formation. Toss to Gonzalez again. He gets to the 45. He's at the 40, inside the 40, and another good 6-7 yards for Josh Gonzalez.
Yeah, nice cut back there. He had Big Richard out in front. I also had Randy out in front, Randy Cardoza, number 44. Good job by the offensive line. What did we just talk about? Hanna took the ball, drove down the field. East just has to answer. It's going to come down to turnovers. It's going to come down to penalties.
Richards got the sign. Tight formation. Got Hector Sign split to the right. Gonzalez is in the backfield. Richard Lefevre keeps the ball inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. That's going to be a good 5 yards for Richard Lefevre.
You know, that's a tough read for Hanna's defense. The offensive line is blocking to the offensive right, but the upbacks are pulling to the left. So do I follow my key and go with the line, or do I go with the backs? I can really get crossed up here. I bet you they've got some play action passing off that same action.
I wouldn't doubt it. And Coach Burgett said that watch what we're going to be doing today. Hands it off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez able to evade the first guy that grabbed him by the legs and keeps his feet moving, because that's what they teach you to do as a running back, and gets down to the 31-yard line, bringing up a 3rd down and 2 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, those Gonzalez boys, you've had Bobby, you've had Peter, you've had even AC, and now you got Josh. This is the 4th brother to become a Wildcat varsity football player. It must be in their genetics somewhere to move the feet.
Yep. So power I formation for the Wildcats. Richard Lefevre under center. Gonzalez is your deep back. Cardoza, the lead blocker. Gonzalez with a little move to his left, because they just seem to seal that side. You have big Randy Cardoza out there leading the way, and he's inside to the 25-yard line, and the chains again continue to move for the Wildcats.
Well, Randy's lead blocking is starting to frustrate the Hanna Eagles. They showed a little frustration at the end of that play, and I love seeing it. You love seeing it, but Hanna right now is not very happy about it.
No, I don't think they are. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. 2.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Lefevre, tight formation, empty backfield for him. He's going to keep it and run to his right. Someone's trying to grab him by the leg, but a gentleman that is 6'4", 260 pounds, is not going to be brought down by one arm.
Yeah, he kind of got chased from behind, was able to kick the feet up and move forward. I don't know what you do. It's kind of like if I can go bear hunting. If I catch one, what am I going to do with it? That's kind of the deal when you're trying to tackle Richard Lefevre. So I might catch him, but once I do, what am I going to do with him?
Yeah, he's going to pick up 3 yards on that play. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7. We are under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Hanna leads this one 7-0. Their first possession, they went down the field. This is Weslaco East first possession. Bad snap, or Richard just can't hold it. But when Richard gets the ball, you got to watch out, because he can take it to the house. 22-yard run by Richard Lefevre. What seemed to be a broken play, he decided he was just going to run with it.
Well, that's the veteran Richard's become. When he was a sophomore, he would have probably lost possession of the ball. Last year, he would probably have just fallen on it in the backfield. He has enough poise at this point in his career to pick that up, find the block. He knew where the play was called. He wasn't the intended runner on that play, though.
No.
Get behind the blocking and score. Good job.
Little offsides there.
Well, the big boy you just talked about, he tried to kick a field goal the other way. Even if he were to make it, I don't think you get any points for that. Okay, Coach Brigette says, do you want to move us to the 1? We're going to put the offense back in.
Yeah, that was
go for 2.
That was going to be offsides on the Eagles. So because of the offside, it's going to be half the distance of the goal. So it'll be at the 1.5-yard line. And of course, Coach Brigette said we're going to go for 2 here.
You want to guess that it's either a toss or a quarterback sneak? Which one?
I'm going to say quarterback sneak. The Weslaco East crowd is chanting go. They know what's going to happen here. And it is Lefevre walking into the end zone for a 2-point conversion.
So we said it's going to come down to turnovers and penalties. That penalty was huge, Joe, because now if everybody stays on track, at some point, Hanna's going to have to go for 2.
Yes. So good call there from Coach Brigette. He knows what he's got in his front line. He knows that he's got Randy Cardoza, who is just as big as an O-lineman at a fullback position. And then when you throw into the mix the quarterback and his size, it's going to be hard to stop him beyond or before 1 yard.
Yeah, I got to imagine that the Vela and the PSJ coaching staff look at this offense and go, okay, we know what they're going to do. Here's the problem, though. How do you stop it? And he hadn't even thrown yet. And you know he can.
Yep, we know that he can. So with 1:40 to go here in the opening quarter, it is now your Weslaco East Wildcats 8, the Hanna Eagles 7. Chucky on to kick for the Wildcats. Back deep is Matthew Garcia and Christopher Cardenas for the Eagles. We started to get a little bit of drizzle just a little while ago, and it already stopped. Field's a little wet, not too much.
You know, in the old day with grass, it might have been a big deal. It kind of rained on and off all day. With that turf, it's actually a little better when it's a little bit damp.
So here we go, Chucky with the kick. It's a good one. In the direction of Cardenas. He's going to take it 1 yard deep in the end zone. He's going to bring it out. He's at the 15-20. He's hit. He's still on his feet. 30, 40. He's got one man to beat. 30, 25, 15, 10, a 101-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Christopher Cardenas.
Well, let me tell you what. He hit that thing 100 miles an hour. There were Wildcats in the area, but just enough blocking was being done. Now, here's the situation, Joe. Do you kick it or do you go for 2? Looks like they're going to kick.
Yeah, it's early in the game, I would have to say. Knowing what you've got in your field goal kicker, that's a safe option. You want to come out of here with positive points. You don't want to fall behind in points or extra points. So the snap is good, the kick is up, the kick is good. So with 1:25 left here in the first quarter, it is now the Hanna Eagles 14, your Weslaco East Wildcats 8. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with more first quarter action right here from Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville, Texas.
Before David Lozano started practicing law, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL athletics. He was a regional qualifier. He earned college credits through the dual enrollment program. After high school, he attended the University of Texas before graduating from St. Mary's School of Law. Now he helps people in need as an attorney. WISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For David Lozano, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville, Texas. K-West bringing you the regular season finale between your Weslaco East Wildcats and the Hanna Eagles. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, John Boswell. A 101-yard return for a touchdown by Cardenas. Now the Eagles kick off to the Wildcats. Back deep to return that one is Ramsey Vasquez. He takes it about the 4 or 5 yard line, and he's going to bring it out to about the 26, 27-yard line, and that's where Weslaco East will take over on their second possession of the night.
Yeah, good to see Ramsey on the field tonight. I think he's been a little bit shaken up. He's ready to go, it looks like. Nice little return. Wildcats on offense again. Hanna has had no answer. Let's see if they've had time, really hadn't had time to make any adjustments.
Well, here come the Wildcats on their second possession of the night. Power I formation. Cardenas and Rodriguez back there. Lefevre under center. Bones, the lone receiver, split to the bottom of your screen. Toss is to Rodriguez. He's going to cut up the field. He's going to get to about the 31-yard line. Good positive yards there from Rodriguez. Gain of 2, bringing up a 2nd down and 8.
So we're talking Gonzalez?
Rodriguez. Josh Gonzalez, I'm sorry. Josh Gonzalez, my bad.
Okay, I was looking at the wrong roster, I thought, there for a second. But yeah, the Hanna defender coming up and just cutting the lead blocker. Not the best way to do things, but it worked on that play.
This time, Lefevre lines up in an empty gun. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Paulino Arevalo, the tight end, he's going to stay to block. Passes quick into the hands of Banuelos, and Banuelos has it, and he's got nothing but green pasture in front of him, and that is a 69-yard pass from Lefevre to Banuelos. And how many yak yards?
Oh, my goodness. And I think the defender thought he had a chance to intercept that. The Wildcats had a little combination route going on out there. Jaime sets down in the zone, catches it, and people have been telling me, for about the last year, everybody thinks JC's the fastest guy on the team. I think Jaime is the fastest guy on the team. And here he is now. He's going to step in there and I think snap the ball for this extra point.
Mikey Gonzalez is the holder and Chucky is the kicker. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, plenty of distance, and the kick is good as well. We've got 29 seconds to go here in the first quarter, and your Weslaco East Wildcats have captured the lead once again. Now they lead by a score of 15-14. Coach, we knew this was going to be a good game.
Well, both teams are here to play. Both teams are cutting loose. Now, as the kickoff team right now, I think I might want to either kick it to the other guy, kick a bloop kick, or something here. Let's see if the kickoff team does something different on this kickoff.
Yeah, we'll see what they decide to do here on this kick, of course, because the last kickoff, Hanna brought it back 101 yards to the house. But you were talking about the speed of Banuelos. You saw the defender of Hanna break on that. Banuelos did a good job making sure he had the ball before he turned and ran. And once he ran, you could see the breakaway speed and how he just began to separate from the Hanna Eagles. So back deep again for the Eagles is Matthew Garcia along with Christopher Cardenas. We'll see if they heard you, Coach. See what they decide to do on this kick. 29 seconds left here in the first quarter. 15-14 is your score. Your Wildcats are on top. Kicks it again to Cardenas. This time it's going to be about 4 yards deep in the end zone, and he's going to bring it out. He's looking for some running room. He's still on his feet, and he's tripped up and brought down at the 13-yard line by Mikey Gonzalez, the guy that just held for the extra point.
Yeah, there's a lot of valuable football players on this team. Mikey Gonzalez comes in, he holds on the kicks, he covers all the kicks, he plays defense, he can play inside, outside right now. Looks like he's playing. And there's Jaime Banuelos out there playing the corner on the left side, and you got Mikey Gonzalez playing the outside linebacker on the right. A lot of guys doing a lot of things on this team.
Yeah, you got as your safety, you got Dimas Alvarez and Ramsey Vasquez as well. So here come the Hanna Eagles for the second time on offense. Mancias and Cavazos in the backfield with the quarterback Campos. Little counter play there, but the flags come out quickly, so that's usually indicative of some motion on the offense.
Let's hear Mr. Buck if the mic's been adjusted since the last call.
So that'll move them back 5 yards. We'll repeat first down, but it's going to be 1st and 15. Ball is going to be spotted after the assessment of the penalty at the 6-yard line. Same formation. Campos drops back, has some time. Gets rid of the ball to the middle of the field, and the ball is tipped and almost intercepted by Dimas. Dimas Alvarez comes up, gets his fingers on the football, tips it up almost to himself.
You know, that was one of those Campos never saw him. Dimas is playing on the hash mark, reads the quarterback eyes, gets across the formation, and like you said, that was almost beautiful, but a broken up pass. I'll take it any day.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 15. Mancias is the only back in the backfield with the quarterback, Campos. 2 receivers down to the left. They're going to hand the ball off to Mancias. Breaks a couple of tackles, but is not going to be able to get to the 15-yard line, to the 14. So that's going to be good for only 3. That'll bring up a 3rd down and about 12. No, they're going to say he got to the 15. So we have played 1 quarter here in Brownsville, Sands Memorial Stadium. And at the end of 1 quarter, it is your Weslaco East Wildcats 15, the Hanna Eagles 14. We'll be right back with 2nd quarter action right here on K-West.
Before Rene Hinojosa became a business executive, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL academics, designed the original Wildcats logo, was an all-state academic middle linebacker. He then played for the Longhorns, graduating with a business degree from UT. Now he's the Director of Strategic Development at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Rene Hinojosa, WISD was the right choice.
2nd quarter just about to get underway. Eagles with the ball, 3rd down and about 8.
No backs.
Empty backfield for Campos. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. And a quick flag again. On their first play from scrimmage, they move the ball back 5 yards, and it looks like that's going to happen again.
Well, you know, they go to no back, so there's no help on the defensive line. And let me tell you what, Jacob Banda, Robert Torres, and they're not brothers, but Gerald Garza and Fernando Garza is enough to make an offensive tackle move early.
So here we go. After a 5-yard penalty, that'll bring up a 3rd down and 13 from the 9-yard line. They're going to keep Mancias in the backfield. Draw to Mancias. He breaks the first tackle. Got some running room. Brought down at about the 21-yard line. And depending on the spot, that's going to be very close to a Hanna Eagle 1st down.
Yeah, I think that's Freddie Cardenas again in there making the tackle, number 3. He's like, you know, I think sometimes you must look around and go, how many number 3s do they got, Coach, when you're playing offense? But here's something we didn't know, Joe, up until now. Who's the punter for the Hanna Eagles? We're about to find out.
Yeah. If we talked about possessions, and right now the Eagles are going to have to punt the ball off.
Back in punt formation, number 2,
Matthew Garcia is the punter. Ramsey Vasquez is back deep to return this punt. And again, we've got laundry on the field.
Well, they got the offense to move again. Actually, this is the punt team now. But the defense for the Wildcats shifted over so they can attack the punter. That drew the blocker and move back 5 yards and punt it. Now, he's going to hit this punt, Joe, from about the 8-yard line, somewhere in that area, once he catches the snap and moves forward. So the Wildcats have a chance for great field position.
That was the 3rd false start on this possession that counted against the Hanna Eagles. Ramsey lined up at the 50. Punt is a short one. Bounces at the 34. Takes a Hanna bounce to about the 40. Now it's rolling to about the 42-yard line. And that's where the Wildcats will take over on their next offensive series. 3rd time that the Wildcats are going to touch the ball here in the 1st half.
You know, back in the day, I was a punter, and I coached punters my whole career. That's the thing I'd be screaming from the sideline, shank. That's what you call that, what you just saw. Puts the Wildcats in great field position. They don't need to be in any kind of hurry. They're already got the edge because of a 2-point play. They just want to score here and keep the edge.
Jacob Carrasco, Randy Cardosa, and Josh Gonzalez in the backfield. Little motion there. They're going to toss it to Gonzalez. He's got a couple of blockers. He's at the 40, 35, and he's pushed out of bounds close to the 1st down mark.
Okay, they snuck. I know 25 and 29 look a lot alike, but they snuck number 29 in the game. That's Derek Ibarra. They flipped the tight end from right to left. Hanna did not adjust, but the tight end that flipped is a veteran there, number 11, Paulino Arevalo, and he seems to be a little worse for the wear here.
There's a timeout on the field, and we're going to take one along with them. You're enjoying Weslaco East football right here on K-West.
Before Clarissa Renteria was a dentist, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a cheerleader, played softball, and started college early through the dual enrollment program. She graduated from UTPA before earning her degree from the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston. Now she is Dr. Renteria, creating beautiful smiles at Professional Dental Group. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Dr. Clarissa Renteria, WISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville, Texas. After a good run there from Derek Ibarra, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats from the 32-yard line of the Hanna Eagles. I formation, hands off to Derek Ibarra, looking for some running room on the left side of the line. He's hit immediately. Going to pick up maybe 1 yard on that play.
You know, Coach Burgett can throw a lot of different formations out there, but that's the purest of power sets you will ever see, Joe. There's actually 7 linemen, 2 running backs, and a quarterback. And here comes one of them out, and he's being replaced by a fullback.
Jacob Carrasco.
Yeah.
Yeah, the times they've had Jacob Carrasco and Randy Cardosa all on the field at the same time, they usually line up in that power I formation. So we'll see if that's what they come out to do on this next play from scrimmage, and that's exactly what they are going to do. Power I formation, Lefevre under center. Toss is to Derek Ibarra to the left side. He gets by the first guy inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line, bringing up a 3rd down and maybe 3 yards for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that was a nice job by the young man who was lined up at the left tight end. Let me see if I can catch a number on that.
I think that's Steely Munoz.
Yeah, and he's the son of athletic trainer Tony Munoz, and had a great season. I believe he's a sophomore out there playing really well.
Power I formation again for the Wildcats. 3rd down and 3. Lefevre's going to keep it, and he's still on his feet inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. Lefevre just took the snap and ran right behind his left guard, and he picked up about 7 yards on that play.
You know, sometimes it's like Richard says, lead blocker, I don't need no lead blocker, and he just gets there before the line. The defensive line is even prepared. He gets there so quick from the quarterback spot. It's almost comical at times, but a 1st down, Joe, they are capable of getting a 1st down without scoring.
Yes, they are. They're at the 14-yard line, so they'll need to get to the 4-yard line in order to do that. So, again, same formation. This time the power is to the right. Hands it off to Cardosa. Cardosa with some tough running behind the left guard. He's going to get inside to about the 11-yard line, a pickup of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Just a good, solid drive by the Wildcats. No hurry. They're letting time roll. They're keeping Hanna on the sideline. You know, I told the Wildcat coaching staff early in the year, Hanna might be the most explosive team I've seen. They're keeping that explosive team on the sideline.
Toss to Derek Ibarra, and Derek is hit for the first time at the 6-yard line. So it wasn't until 6 yards beyond the line of scrimmage that he was finally touched by someone on the defensive side of the field.
You know, when people talk about preparing to play a team, there is no other team in the Valley that can do what the Wildcats do. They must be really hard to prepare for.
3rd down and 2. Lefevre still on his feet, taking everyone with him inside the 3-yard line, and that's going to be a 1st and goal for the Wildcats. You said that a little while ago, Coach. They can pick up a 1st down without scoring.
What do you do, Joe? If you're playing defense right now, what do you do? When you go to the sideline, or if you're on the coaching staff for Hanna, what do you tell your guys?
You ask if you can have 14 men on defense. What you do.
Yeah, that might work. And here in Brownsville, you might be able to get away with it. But it's just an amazing look. Here comes another lineman or 2 out. Here comes a receiver in. Okay, they need one of them to stay.
Yeah, they only brought in 1 receiver, so you can't get rid of 2 players.
They may have to take a timeout here. Play clock's down at 5, and they're in the
huddle.
huddle.
I think Burgett's going to do that. He's over here talking to the line judge, and they do just that. Coach, they started off in excellent field position because of a short punt. You called it a shank,
Right.
and that's exactly what happened. And they're moving the ball down the field. They're being very meticulous about what they want to do, and they're doing what they want to do.
Well, you know, when you have a team that you believe, and I know they believe because they've seen film and they've talked to people, and I believe that Hanna is very explosive. Well, how do you unexplosive an explosive team? You keep them over there on the side with the coaching staff.
Right.
They can't be explosive sitting on that bench over there. And we've seen their offense being explosive. We've seen their kick return be explosive. Let's limit their chances to be explosive. Plus, you wear down a defense. When we get in the third and fourth quarter, those guys up front I don't want anymore.
Right, and I was about to say that when you've got the size and strength that this Weslaco East team has on offense, you just little by little wear them down, and by the time the end of the third quarter, the fourth quarter comes around, they're done.
You know, and I'm going to agree with you on strength. They're not real big. When Richard's the biggest guy on the field, they're not real big.
Lefevre, quarterback, keeps it, and it's a 3-yard touchdown, the second one of the night for Richard Lefevre.
And I believe they're going for 2 here, Joe. Let's see. People are trying to come off, but Coach Brigette said, no, get in there. Oh, now they
He's
made the
signaling
decision.
one.
There
He's
you go.
signaling one. So here comes the extra point team for the Wildcats. Chucky on the kick, Banuelos on the snap, and Mikey on the hold.
So you got a trainer's kid snapping to a coach's kid being kicked by a soccer guy. A great job by the Wildcats
That's
here.
what it is. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So we've got 7:52 to go here before halftime, and the Wildcats have extended their lead. They now are on top of the Homer Hanna Eagles by a score of 22-14. Coach, now they're kicking from the other side of the field. You talked about maybe doing something a little bit different on the kicking team. They did a better job of covering the last time.
Well, that's one of the things you can do. You know, Coach Perriman kind of ramrods the kicking game, does a great job his years at wherever he's been running the kicking game. You know, there's no wind at all. So Chucky ought to be able to kick it deep going this way, too. I'm really surprised Hanna on the last one brought it from 5 yards deep. Most high school teams will let it go or kneel it 5 yards deep. But that guy is so explosive, he wants to get running.
Well, when you take 101 yards, what makes you not think that you can do it 105 yards?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So here we go. Chucky on the kick. Back deep again is Cardenas and Garcia for the Eagles. The big front line of the Wildcats getting some well-deserved water there on the bench.
Back to receive, Garcia, number 2, and number 9, Cardenas.
Chucky's got his men ready and set. Kick is away. This time it's in the direction of Garcia, and he's going to take it 5 yards deep, but he's going to take a knee. I think we should let everybody know what Chucky's real name is. It's Orlando Fuentes.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a handful of guys. You know, we got Chucky, Orlando Fuentes. Of course, we got Bones. His mama calls him Trey. His real name is Hector Sainz III. There's a handful of guys down there that, you know, you got Bonda, and there's been another Bonda, and you just figure it's the same guy. But no, that was Jonathan. This is Jacob. You know, and you've got Freddie, and you used to have to say which Freddie. You know, and you got Mikey. You only have to say Mikey, and you know you're talking number 33, Mikey Gonzalez. So there's a handful of guys like that. Big Al, Alvaro Medrano. And that's how the kids refer to each other. That's how the coaches refer to them. And it's nice to be able to identify them the way they're comfortable being identified.
That is absolutely correct. Well, the Eagles will start after taking a knee at their own 25-yard line. First play from scrimmage. It's a handoff to Cesar Mancias. He takes it to the 30, good for 5 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and 5 from their own 30-yard line.
You know, I'm seeing number 15 for the Wildcats on the field as a corner lot. That's Hector Muniz, and he's done a nice job out here, number 15, playing corner for the Wildcats.
Mancias takes a handoff, and he hurdles a Wildcat. But then he is dropped after picking up 6. So the chains will move again.
You know, Joe, I've seen highlights this year of number 24, and that's not the first time he's hurdled a guy. He actually hurdled number 26, Carlos Espinosa, and I bet you Carlos doesn't go in low for him again.
So 5 yards and 6 yards for Mancias, 11 yards in total on this drive. First down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Campos quickly, it's another quarterback, and that quarterback is Justin Martinez, and he gets rid of the ball quickly to his left, and it is caught by Aaron Frausto, and that's going to be a pickup of only 3 yards, maybe 2.
You know, when we saw Hanna play early in the year, we actually saw 3 guys line up at quarterback. Now we've seen 2. The only one we haven't seen back there yet, number 23, and he might be the most explosive of all of them.
And I don't think we've ever seen a play at quarterback from number 23 where he doesn't run the ball. So here we go, 2nd down and 8 for the Eagles. Speed sweep. Andres Acuna, he's going to reverse the field. Aaron Frausto. Aaron Frausto tried to reverse the field, but the one that was having none of that was Mikey Gonzalez.
Yeah, well, Mikey saw that thing happening. He was pointing in the backfield. So there's something off of film work, something that he learned from Coach Villarreal, Coach Guzman, or his dad, linebacker Coach Mike Gonzalez. And he saw it coming and was right there, caused it to cut back, chased it down. Nice tackle, Mikey.
So 3rd down and 9 for the Eagles. Martinez, the quarterback, going to send Cavazos. They got 2 men in motion. They're going to take a timeout. There was some confusion on the play. Now, if I were to guess what the original call on that was going to be a speed sweep to Cavazos.
Well, that would have been my guess, but, you know, the call might be something like 49Z sweep. Well, when you're running so many different guys in and out of the formation, am I Z right now?
Right.
And if you don't look at each other and you're not actually calling it in the huddle, you're doing it with signals, who are you talking to? You know, the quarterback didn't panic. I'm sure it's happened before. Let's call it timeout.
So the Wildcats doing a great job here on the last 2 possessions. We'll see if they can stop them again on this down. 3rd down and 9 from the 37. We got 5:37 to go here before halftime. Your Wildcats leading this one 22-14. The Wildcats have been able to score every time they've had the ball.
And Hanna has had to punt 1 time and scored 1 time really when they didn't have the ball on the kicking game. So it's been a pretty wide open game.
Empty backfield for Martinez. Quick pass, and it's caught by Christopher Cardenas. A skinny post to the 49-yard line, and that's going to move the chains for the Eagles.
Yeah, they create a one-on-one matchup back there. Dimas Alvarez almost got underneath that thing. If he would have, that would have been big. But it's going to end up being first down. Hanna and Joe, we're about to pass inside 5 minutes here in the first half.
Quarterback keeps the ball, looking for some running room, and there is none. He's going to get to maybe midfield. We'll see if they give him any positive yards on that play. They're going to say yes, 1 yard. No, now they're going to move it back to the 49. Big job, good job there by Freddy Cardenas coming up from his linebacker position and just laying the hammer on Martinez.
Yeah, you know, we're 10 games into this season, and there got to be coaches around the valley going, oh, man, I'm glad number 3 is going to graduate. No, he's not. He's a junior.
Yes. Martinez still in at quarterback. Cavazos, he's going to fake the handoff. He's going to keep it. This time, he gets across midfield, but he's only going to get to the 49-yard line, 2 yards.
And 26, Carlos Espinoza stepped up. Freddie Cardenas made him change directions. Carlos steps up, big hit. 3rd and 8, Joe. That was, you and I both thought that they're going to give it to 23, and they faked it, but number 3's back in at quarterback.
Yeah, Campos is back in at quarterback. 3rd down, and they're going to say 7 officially on the scoreboard. Empty gun for Campos. Little bubble screen to Cavazos. Cavazos running in the middle field. Now he cuts it across the field. The Wildcats in hot pursuit, and they're going to stop him shy of the first down. He's going to pick up 4 yards on that play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 3.
You know, in this field position, they have not changed personnel. It looks like they may go for it. In fact, they almost have to with the score the way it is. But everybody thought 23, that was a well-designed play. He cut that thing all the way back. 1 more block, and I think he was gone.
Yeah. He's a shifty, he's an explosive runner. We saw him a couple of weeks or several weeks ago, and he is a force to be reckoned with when he's got the ball in his hand. So here we go. Mancias in the backfield with Campos. He's in a state of block. Campos gets rid of the ball. It's caught on the far side of the field by Cardenas. And that's going to be enough for another Eagle first down.
Yeah, that's kind of a pick play. They have stacked receivers. The first one, in a way, is blocking for the second one. It's hard to get through that first receiver to get to the second. And with 3:11 to go, Joe, Hanna on the run.
They are going to hand the ball off to Mancias. Mancias trying to cut back. He's got a little bit of running room, is able to get through to about the 34, 33-yard line. A pickup of 4, bringing up a second down and about 6.
Yeah, 48, Robert Vera in on the tackle, of course. I could almost say this every time, but Freddie Cardenas, number 3, also in the picture.
They're gonna give him 5 on the play, so it'll bring up a second down and 5 from the 32-yard line. Mancias again in the backfield. Cavazos in motion. Fakes the handoff, drops back. Campos does. Looking for a receiver down the field. And just a little too long for Cardenas. A great job there by Banuelos defensively. Great coverage.
Yeah, you know, he had that long catch a little while ago. Then great coverage on that thing. He's your long snapper on punt. He's your long snapper on extra point. Good job out there, Jaime Banuelos. It's going to be 3rd and about 5. Joe, we're at 2:30 in the first half.
Game moving rather quickly here. Clock does stop because of the incomplete pass. 3 receivers to the right, 1 down here at the bottom of your screen, and that's Rolando Ramirez. Hands the ball off to Mancias. Mancias hit hard, and he's going to be stopped after a 2-yard gain. So that'll bring up a 4th down and 3. Second time we say that in the last 2 minutes.
Well, do you see who's at quarterback right now? He
Cavazos.
handed off. Yeah, he handed off to Macias. But you better keep your eyes open on 4th and 2. You got both of them back there, and both of them are explosive.
Yes. Cavazos, the quarterback. He's going to take the snap. He's going to run out to his left. Cut up field, breaks a tackle, still on his feet. Bounces outside, inside the 20, inside the 15, and he's in for the score.
You know, once again, right at the point of attack, the officials are being very forgiving. They're letting the kids decide the game. But Macias turns up the side, not Macias, Cavazos. The explosion we were talking about just took place. They're going to kick the extra point, it looks like. And if they make it, they'll be down by 1 with 1:51 to go in the first half.
Miguel Payan on for the extra point. Cavazos, who just ran the touchdown, the holder. Kick is long enough, is good. So with 1:51 to go in the first half, it is now your Weslaco East Wildcats 22, the Hanna Eagles 21.
Before Rene Hinojosa became a business executive, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL academics, designed the original Wildcats logo, was an all-state academic middle linebacker. He then played for the Longhorns, graduating with a business degree from UT. Now he's the Director of Strategic Development at Doctors Hospital at Renaissance. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Rene Hinojosa, WISD was the right choice.
Kick it off by number 1.
It's a squib kick. Ramsey's going to pick it up at the 9-yard line. Looking for some blockers. Gets through the first wall, and he's met at the second wall at about the 27-yard line. Good return there of about 17 yards by Ramsey.
Yeah, he did a nice job picking that thing off the turf. It was skipping along like a rock on the top of a lake, you know, and he did a nice job of picking that up. You got 1:44 to go in the half. Looks like you have 2 timeouts. Hanna has 2 timeouts. I got to say you want to get at least to the 20 to be in field goal range, but I don't think they're thinking field goal.
No, you've got plenty of time. The one thing that we haven't seen and we talked about earlier was the ability of Richard Lefevre to throw the ball. So we'll see what they decide to do here. He's already got 1 passing TD tonight. Cardosa in at running back. You got to believe they're going to have him block. Quick whistle here.
Not sure what
And it's going to be a timeout taken by the Hanna Eagles. Hanna didn't like their personnel.
I don't know if they thought they were going to come in with a spread set. I'm not sure what they thought. But they wanted to look at it with 1:44 to go. I don't know. Shouldn't that clock go back to 1:51?
No, we had a kickoff return.
yes.
Ramsey touched the ball.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a little delayed in that thinking.
You're all right, Coach. You're all right. 1:44 to go here in the first half. Your Weslaco East Wildcats on top of this one, 22-21. We've mentioned this. We just want to remind you that Weslaco East did win the toss, so they deferred. So they'll be receiving to begin the second half. Again, we still have some football to play here in the first half. We'd like to see the Weslaco Wildcats move the ball down the field and come out and extend their lead before heading into the locker room at halftime. Cardosa in the backfield with Lefevre, so you got to believe he's in there to block. Lefevre pumps, throws the ball in the direction of Banuelos, and he catches it. What a catch by Banuelos.
Well, they caught him in man, Joe. They ran a little cross. They faked the pump out here to the quick screen, and Hanna taking that time out actually gave Jaime Banuelos a chance to catch his breath because he was just making big plays a minute ago on defense.
Clock stops to move the change. 1:35 to go. Lefevre's going to keep it. He's going to make some moves inside. He's still on his feet, and he's finally hit from behind inside the 30-yard line, and that's going to move the chains again. 1:26 to go on the clock. They're going to stop the clock to move the chains. Weslaco East already in formation. Lefevre looking to his left. Gets the ball into the hands of Alvaro Medrano. And the pass is caught after about 5 yards, and the Wildcats are going to take a quick timeout.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Stack to the left. Lefevre going to keep the ball. He's inside the 20. Down to about the 18. That's going to be very close for a first down. You got to believe they're going to stop the clock to measure, depending on where they spot it.
Looks like they're waving it forward to a first down.
That they are. So inside the 20-yard line to the 19. First and 10 for the Wildcats. 1:08 to go here in the ball game. The clock has already started tick.
You know, it might not be a bad time to see how Hanna's handling their coverage right now. They don't know who to cover and who to double.
Lefevre looking to his right. Throws to the end zone. And it is caught. Touchdown, Wildcats. That looks like that ball was thrown to Alvaro Medrano.
Well, they did a good job. They didn't know who to double. They found Jaime Banuelos. They actually moved the safety over the top of Jaime. Jaime never left the line of scrimmage. The other side was running a 2-man route between Bones and Alvaro. Richard puts it on the money. That's a big touchdown. Wildcats get the football to start the second half. And here it's Chucky.
Chucky on to attempt the extra point with under a minute to go here. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 51 seconds to go before halftime, it is now the Weslaco East Wildcats, your Weslaco East Wildcats 29, the Hanna Eagles 21. Coach, what do you do here on the kickoff?
Well, I think you probably want to squib it down the field. You don't want to give him a clean catch. Even though he stayed in the end zone last time, I don't think you want to take that shot that he runs it back out of there. Hanna's got 50 seconds. You know, we were worried that the Wildcats have enough time when they got the ball back. They had plenty of time. You know, their offense tonight, minus Banuelos' long catch, has really been a ball control, pounded at you offense, where Hanna has depended on a kickoff return, a long run. Everything they've done has been a little bit more explosive.
Yeah, and they have that ability. So they've got 51 seconds to go here before the half. Chucky on to kick. Back deep for the Eagles. Matthew Garcia, Christopher Cardenas. Christopher Cardenas already has a 101-yard touchdown off of a kickoff. Chucky's got everybody ready. And here we go. Kick is in the direction of Garcia. He's going to catch it at the 1-yard line, looking for some blockers. Look at who's in the middle of all that commotion, Coach. Freddy Cardenas.
Yeah, and he got some help from number 22. Jose Serna does a nice job. Of course, many of their defensive starters are in on this. Dimas Alvarez coming out of the tackle. Number 48, Vera coming out of the tackle. Nice job, Wildcats. You got to play defense for 43 seconds, then you can go in.
That's right. Ball is going to be spotted at the 27-yard line, and that's where the Eagles will begin this possession right before the half. Campos coming out at quarterback.
I see Coach Noel Villarreal loosening up these safeties just a little bit. They're about 15 yards off the ball.
Mancias in the backfield with him. Cavazos down at the bottom of your screen. Handoff is to Mancias. He's going to bounce this one out to the outside, to the left, and he's going to be stopped on the field of play at about the 31-yard line after about a 5-yard pickup. The clock continues to move. Doesn't look like Hanna is going to utilize her last time out.
Well, that looked like it was Mikey out there. Mikey Gonzalez, number 33, making a nice tackle out in the open field. And you're right, Joe. They didn't stop the 40-second clock because it was inside 40. We're at 15 now. Hanna is going to take maybe one shot here.
Campos dropping back. Throwing the ball deep. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Hector Muniz. And he's still on his feet. And he's finally brought down at the 43-yard line with the clock expiring.
Great job. You had coverage by Alvaro Medrano, who just caught the long pass, tipped the ball to number 15, who I pointed out earlier in the half. Hector Muniz, nice job on the interception. The Wildcats go in ahead at half.
Yeah, they go in at halftime, leading this one by a score of 29-21. Remember, they do get the ball to start the second half. You're enjoying the regular season finale between your Weslaco East Wildcats and the Hanna Eagles right here on KWES. We'll be back with second half action after the break.
In this game, you need the desire, the hunger, the will to win.
Hit so hard that not
This is what drives you to finish,
Pedraza goes untouched into the end zone.
to dominate. When it's one-on-one on this field, the one with more heart, the one with true will, one who simply refuses to lose, will be victorious. East side, strong side.
Welcome back to Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville, Texas. Your Weslaco East Wildcats running onto the field to begin second half action of play here in Brownsville. It is a regular season finale between your Weslaco East Wildcats and the Hanna Eagles. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach John Boswell, and of course our cameraman extraordinaire, Vinny Berry. We had a little bit of rain right as we entered halftime, but it has subsided somewhat. It's been off and on at a very light mist here as of the last 2 or 3 minutes. Again, Weslaco East did win the toss to begin the game. They deferred for the second half. They will get the ball to start the second half, and they lead this one by a score of 29-21.
You know, Hanna's going to kick off, and they've got to find a way to stop the Wildcats. Now, you know, you and I talked during the half. You need to be very aware right now of Hanna trying something crazy, a bloop kick, an onside kick, something maybe you haven't seen to try to steal a possession. Because, you know, really you don't have anything to lose. You're playing next week. It's where and who is the only thing being determined tonight. And so, you know, there's no better feeling as a coach than to know that we're playing in the playoffs. You know, there's a lot of teams tomorrow turning in helmets.
Yeah, and you know, another thing that you and I were talking about is what if Weslaco East takes the ball and scores and extends this lead even more? Does Hanna begin to rest some of their key starters and get some more players on the field as they prepare for the playoffs?
Yeah, I would hate to be Hanna and lose a guy like Cavazos or a guy like Mancias or your quarterback, there's a handful of guys that I don't know that they can replace. So it'll be interesting to see. And if East gets way ahead, well, they start resting people. So, it's interesting to see what will happen here.
Medrano back to receive this one. He's going to take it about 8 yards deep, and he's going to decide to just take a knee. I got scared there for a little bit because he took a couple of real quick steps, but he was deep enough to where it didn't really affect him. He was able to take a knee, and the East Wildcats will begin their first possession here in the second half from their own 25-yard line.
Very efficient in the passing game in the first half. Not a whole lot of passes, but 2 touchdown passes by Richard Lefevre. One, the ball actually was caught in the end zone. The other behind the athletic ability of Jaime Banuelos. And let me tell you what, Jaime's mom said, when he does good, he's my son. When he messes up, he belongs to the trainer. So I'm going to say Jaime Banuelos' mother is very proud of the way he's playing, as all of us should be. He's having a great senior year.
Toss is going to Derek Ibarra out of the power I formation.
If I were to have been inside at halftime, as long as East has the ball and as long as everything is in their favor, I would tell the running back stay in bounds.
Yeah. And that they did. Derek Ibarra stopped after about a 6-yard pickup at the 32-yard line. They're going to say 7 yards because they're going to. The yard to gain is the 35. 2nd and 3 for the Wildcats. Lefevre, quarterback sneak, and very close to a Wildcat first down.
It's got to be a first down, right? Kicked it in the end zone. It came to the 25.
So they got to get to the 35. So, yes, he is at the 35, so they're going to say 1st and 10.
And here comes the weather again, and we talked about this at that time. The weather has less effect on the way East plays offense than the way Hanna plays offense.
Well, power I again for the Wildcats. Lefevre under center. Almost jumping off sides is the cornerback. Toss to Ibarra. Ibarra cuts up the field. He's at the 38-yard line, and it brought down by Jose Cruz.
Yeah, number 77, Mario Trevino, nice job. Good job out on the edge by Hector Sainz, number 80. Number 1, who is actually their kicker also, is trying to make a play there on that toss sweep, and he did a nice job. And here comes the group, I believe, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. I believe they call this group Elephant.
Well, you were talking about the kicker playing defense. He almost jumped off sides there. Empty gun for Lefevre out of the Elephant formation. They blitz a linebacker, and Lefevre is going to get about 3 yards.
Number 40 knifed through there and made a play, but the offensive line for the Wildcats have just got to keep their heads up as they're zone blocking there for Richard. And looks like we're going to switch formations here, get some of the big guys out, some quicker guys in. It's going to be 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, Josh Gonzalez coming onto the field, replacing Derek Ibarra. He'll be in at tailback.
2-yard gain on the play, 3rd and
Well, he'll be
4.
the only back in the backfield with Lefevre. Fakes a handoff to Gonzalez. Lefevre looking for some running room, and it looked like everyone in a brown jersey was looking for number 13.
Well, the coaches are going to have to see that. The East offensive coaches are going to have to see that they are dead keying Richard now instead of keying a back. Most teams are going to key the backs. Now, you got 4th down and about 4. I can't believe Coach Brigette isn't going to punt here.
Well, remember, Richard is the punter as well. So they will look like they're going to line up on offense in a regular offensive formation, but they're going to go ahead and just not disguise anything and say we're going to punt it.
Well, they need to. They're ahead by a possession and a point.
Back in punt formation, Lefevre, number 13. Set to receive, number 2, Matthew Garcia.
Matthew Garcia back deep to return this punt.
Think delay a game. And Coach Brigette said, hey, don't worry about it. That's on me. It took a while to determine whether we wanted to punt or not. But let me tell you what, the return man doesn't believe they're going to punt.
Now he does. Good punt from Lefevre. Takes a Wildcat bounce. Inside the 10. It's rolling into the 6. And it's going to be down at about the 5-yard line.
That's about a 65-yard punt, 60-yard punt by Richard. Rolled to his right a little bit, got that thing to roll down there. Defense gets to come out and start their drive with 95 yards to go. Let's see if Hanna has anything new on this half.
8:31 to go in the third quarter. Your Weslaco Wildcats leading this one by a score of 29-21. And now the Hanna Eagles will come on the field on offense. Campos is their quarterback. Mancias in the backfield with him. They're going to split out 2 receivers to each side of the field. Hand off to Mancias. Mancias looking for some running room, and there is nowhere to go.
Well, one of the first hits there was by Mikey Gonzalez. I see Big 55, Jacob Bonda amongst others. And, of course, I said this in the first half, and you could probably say it for another year. If there's a tackle being made, Freddie Cardenas is probably in the picture.
Cavazos in motion, fakes the handoff, gives it to Mancias. Mancias is tripped up on the outside by Mikey Gonzalez, doing a great job coming up and doing just enough to keep Mancias from creating any damage.
Yeah, it's like the Mikey Gonzalez show right now, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 5. This is a big down for Hanna. They don't want to have to punt out of this field position.
3rd down and 5 from the 11-yard line. 7.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Mancias in the backfield with Campos. 1 receiver to the top of your screen. Campos rolls to his right. Got pressure. He's got a receiver, and the ball goes in and out of the hands of Cavazos. Cavazos trying to figure out where that sideline is and took his eye off the ball just enough to not catch it.
Well, and you had Freddie Cardenas coming on the delayed blitz, keeping the quarterback off balance back there. Wasn't really able to step through and make that throw. Joe, just what Hanna didn't want to happen. They're punting right near their goal line.
Bones is back deep to return this one. He's lined up at his own 47-yard line. Punter is Matthew Garcia, and he is in his own end zone. He'll be punting from the goal line.
Now you need the shank.
Bones catches this one at the 49. Puts his head down. He's at the 40. But we've got flags on the play.
Usually we see a flag in that area. It's a block violation. Let's see what the call is.
Factors 16. 17, Jay Medina in on the tackle, and 18 in punt.
We'll wait for the veteran Mike Buck.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 90 on the return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, the 38-year veteran Mike Buck with the call.
Yeah, fine referee, good job. When he's doing a game, when his crew's doing a game, you're going to get a quality game, and does a good job out there. And it's going to be, they need to reset the chain there.
Yeah.
Going to be 1st and 10 at the 49.
So here come the Wildcats after a stoppage of the Eagles. Fakes the handoff. Lefevre looking for a receiver, and he's hit, and the ball is intercepted by Alice Flores.
We said turnovers and penalties are going to be the difference in this ball game, and there's the first turnover right there. He gets hit, and he had a guy coming off the edge. Hanna said, you know what, we've got to get more people involved in the run. Wildcats see that and say, well, if they're going to single cover us, we got to throw. Cause the interception. First down, Hanna on about the 43-yard line, Joe, and this is not where the Wildcats want to be.
No, they don't. Alice Flores for the Eagles with the interception and the return, and sets up the Eagles in excellent field position. 6:58 to go here in the third quarter. Your Wildcats leading this one by a score of 29-21. Rolando Ramirez at the bottom of your screen. Quarterback Cavazo is going to hand it off to Frausto. Frausto still on his feet. Cuts up the field and makes something out of nothing. It looked like he was going to be stopped in the backfield, but he was able to evade a few tacklers and get to the 39-yard line. A pickup of about 4. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 situation for the Eagles.
You know, there's a bunch of guys on Hanna's team that have what the kids call jukes. And looks like 23's in at quarterback, Joe.
Yes, he was. He hands the ball off to Mancias. Mancias behind the left guard, up for about 3 yards to the 35-yard line. 3rd down and 3.
So he's going to lull you to sleep. He's handed it off twice. It's going to be, 3rd and short. Look for 23 to keep it and go.
Third down and 3 for the Eagles. Cavasso still in at quarterback. This time he does keep it. He is running. He's got trouble in the backfield. And guess who's in the backfield to make sure that he goes nowhere? Mikey Gonzalez.
Wow. You know, we got to talk to his mom a little bit at halftime. We was talking about moms. She's awful proud of him, too, and I'm sure that old man on the sideline that used to wear 33 in the years gone by is real proud of the son, Mikey Gonzalez. Great senior year and doing a great job here tonight.
But here tonight, he's mama's boy.
Oh, absolutely.
So here we go, 4th down for the Eagles. Campos, the quarterback. Looks like they are going for it. Trying to get the Wildcats to jump off sides. Wildcats make an adjustment. Campos drops back. Got under pressure. Ball is caught. Ramirez has some running room in the middle of the field, and he's finally tripped up, but not after picking up another Hanna Eagle 1st down.
Well, you know, the Wildcats brought a late blitz, which probably forced them into man-to-man. He got underneath that thing, weren't able to make the play. 1st down, Hanna Eagles.
So the Eagles get themselves out of a jam there.
Again.
Again. 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 35-yard line. Remember, this possession set up after an interception. Campos looking right, then he looks to his left, and it's caught. Caught by Aaron Frausto.
Yeah, they're awfully explosive, Joe. You know, you think you have them, and they go on 4th down and make a big play, and they just throw a little 5-yard pass, and they have great athletes in so many spots. When do you get to the point? It looks like right now is that time where you go for 2.
Well, we've got a correction on the name. That number was not 6, but rather it was number 9, Christopher Cardenas, and that's his 2nd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, he is explosive, 101-yard kickoff return, and a nice catch for a touchdown there. Play clock's down to about 12 seconds here, and they're going for 2.
So the Eagles line up for 2. Campos rolling to his right, throws the ball in the end zone, and that ball is incomplete. So with 4:34 to go here in the 3rd quarter, it is your Weslaco East Wildcats 29, the Hanna Eagles 27. Well, Coach, you talked about needing a possession, and the Eagles got it after the interception.
Yeah, now they're a field goal, you know, if they could get at some point, if nothing else happens touchdown-wise in this game, if they could get in the field goal range, they could win it with a field goal. But by going for 2 and not getting it, they actually open it 1 more point. Now the Wildcats score 7, then they're 9 points ahead.
And it becomes a 2-possession game.
Right, exactly. 8 points is only a 1-possession game. You just got to go for 2.
Right.
9 is 2 possessions.
Regardless.
No way to score. Yeah, there's no way to score 9. Now, everybody who handles the football has got to be very, very concerned about ball security. Both teams are going to be trying to strip it because it is raining on and off here in the 2nd half. We've got 4:34 to go in the 3rd period.
Payana on the kick. Medrano and Signs back deep in the direction of Medrano. And he's going to take it 9 yards deep in the end zone, and he's going to kneel it. So the Wildcats again will begin their next possession from their own 25-yard line. The Wildcats haven't been able to muster up much offense here in the 2nd half.
Well, you know, they had a little bit of a drive going, and then they had a problem. Now, they lost their tight end in the 1st half to an injury, And I'm sure they spent all week working on things out of a tight end set. Now they're having to use an extra lineman. And as a defense, well, you know that guy's not going out for a pass. He's not wearing the right number. So it changes the way you play defense a little.
Cardosa in the backfield with Lefevre. Lefevre's going to keep the ball. And he's going to get out to the 30-yard line, good for 5 yards.
And really, that's all you want. You know, it's nice to break a big play, but if you can go 5-4-3, whatever, 5-5-4, 5-2-8, you know, you want clock running. So Coach Brigette is go ahead and hanging the huddle down a little bit, so they'll take a little more time. And it's starting to rain harder, Joe.
Yeah, the rain's coming down a little harder. Lefevre's going to take the ball, and he's going to run. He's across the 40, 45 to the 41-yard line.
You know, I hate to say it, but on games like this, one of the most important people in the game organization is whoever you got running in balls and keeping them dry. The ball boys do a great job because they can switch the ball out every play. They probably have a handful of balls tucked away somewhere in a trash can that aren't wet at all that they can pull out in the fourth period if they need to.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to make sure you got dry footballs in the hands of your team. Play clock running down to 13 seconds before the Wildcats even break the huddle. I was surprised that they ran the last play with about 10 seconds still left on the clock. So here we go, Lefevre with the ball again. He's hit at the 45, makes a turn, and gets out to the 47-yard line. That's a good 6-yard pickup from the quarterback, Richard Lefevre.
Is there a Metro bus system here in Brownsville?
I believe there is.
Well, they need their bus pass because they were just all taking a ride right there on Richard. He did a nice job getting, about 6 yards there. Don't think they spotted it very well. But, again, believe it or not, we're at a point in the game where yardage is secondary to time.
We are already under 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Your Wildcats leading this one by a score of 29-27. They've got the ball. They led at the half 29-21. 4 seconds on the play clock. Handoff to Ibarra. Ibarra running tough to about the 49-yard line. I'm sorry, Josh Gonzalez is the running back. And they're going to say the ball is on the ground. That's what the Eagles are saying. But the guys in the striped shirts are agreeing with them.
Well, remember I just said it's going to come down to turnovers, then that you have to squeeze the football. I don't like when a guy that deep in the secondary is an official is the one calling the fumble. But like I said, this is Coach Mr. Mike Buck's crew. So this is some of the best officiate we got in the Valley. And here's their downfall. We use NCAA rules, but they don't have the benefit of looking at a replay.
Right. And Burgett didn't like that call either, Coach. He saw what you saw and is not very happy.
I think if you'd have rerun that, you probably would see Josh's knee down. I mean, I can't say it because I didn't see a replay either.
So here we go, Campos, the quarterback. Mancias in the backfield with him. They're going to hand the ball off to Mancias, looking for some running room. He cuts back, he hurdles. He's still on his feet, and he's brought down at the 43-yard line.
Well, I'm interested, track season, I get the opportunity to work K-West for some track meets. I want to see if there's a Mancias from Hanna that's a hurdler, because that's the second time in this game, and it's about the fourth time this season I've seen him hurdle a tackler.
Or a high jumper.
Yeah, possibly.
So here we go. Same formation for the Eagles. This time he fakes the handoff. He's going to hand it off to Frausto. And Frausto is hit hard at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, he did a good job back there of changing direction, getting that first down. But he took a hit at the end. But right now, Hanna, we're inside 2 minutes here in the third period. It's been all Hanna this half.
Yeah, it has been.
2 turnovers, though. We said turnovers and penalties were going to be the key.
Yeah, they had the interception and now the fumble recovery. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the Wildcat 39-yard line. 1.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Handoff to Mancias. He's got some running room. This time he tried to hurdle, but the Wildcats were ready for that one.
Yeah, somebody pretty much caught him in midair, maybe Alvaro Medrano. And, we used to always tell backs to stay on the ground because, landing is not going airborne that's the problem, it's the landing. If you get someone with one leg and the way you get brought down can be really ugly.
Well, he picks up enough for a first down at the 25-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for the Eagles. 1.5 minutes 8:17 to go here in the third. Points off of turnovers. Hanna has 1 touchdown already. Campos with the fake of the handoff. Ball is in the air, and it's almost picked off for the second time by Muniz. Hector Muniz just playing safety back there, almost picks off his second INT of the night.
Yeah, good defense, but misread on the ball flight. He actually should have kept his feet moving instead of jumping. But that brings up 2nd and long here. Stops the clock with 1:03 to go into third. Hanna really wants to score here.
Yeah, Gerald Garza breathing down the neck of Campos did a real good job by holding up. So 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. Mancias in the backfield. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Ramirez to the lone receiver to the bottom of your screen. Handoff to Mancias. Mancias is caught in the backfield, and he is hit hard by Freddy Cardenas.
Well, first he was held up by Freddie's linebacker mate, number 48. That's Robert Vetta. And then once he spun around, Freddie said, here, let me get the rag out and wipe this up. And he wiped it clean. It's going to be 3rd and 12. We're at 40 seconds. Let's see how big a hurry Hanna's in. They're going to have 4th down probably on the other end of the field.
Mancias, same formation for the Eagles. Quick pass to Cavazos.
Double
He's
pass.
going to throw it again. He's got a receiver, and it's caught for a touchdown. The quarterback, Campos, throws the ball out to the left to Cavazos, and then Cavazos throws the ball to Christopher Cardenas, and that's Cardenas' 3rd touchdown of the night.
Well, you ran out there. They threw that ball backwards. The defense comes cooking up on the talented wideouts from Hanna, and it's 33-29. Hanna kicking the extra point will put them up by 5.
Payan on to attempt the extra point with 21 seconds to go here in the third quarter, and they call a timeout. We're going to take one along with them. 21 seconds here to go in the third quarter. It is the Hanna Eagles 33, your Weslaco Wildcats 29. We'll be back with the extra point and more third quarter action right here on K-West.
Before Clarissa Renteria was a dentist, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a cheerleader, played softball, and started college early through the dual enrollment program. She graduated from UTPA before earning her degree from the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston. Now she is Dr. Renteria, creating beautiful smiles at Professional Dental Group. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Dr. Clarissa Renteria, WISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Sam's Memorial Stadium here in Brownsville, Texas. We just had a little bit of some fun with some trickery. Now the Hanna Eagles, after calling a timeout, are going to go for 2. Campos, the quarterback, Mancias in the backfield. Campos looking to his left. He's got a receiver, and it is caught, and the 2-point conversion is good.
3-yard pass.
Christopher Cardenas on the receiving end of the 2-point conversion. So the Eagles now on top by a score of 35-29. 2 touchdowns after 2 turnovers here in the third quarter, Coach.
Well, you know, you don't ever have to even go to a football game, and you can almost always go, okay, who had the turnovers? And, you know, it's really nobody's fault. The second one I question a little bit. The first one, Richard got hit when he was throwing. They made a good play. But the defense has played well all year. You got to go out and stop them. And you had them in, what, 3rd or 4th and pretty long, and you get a double pass. And, you know, the Wildcats, I don't think will quit. But they really have to score here or it's not good.
Yeah. So Payan on the kick. Back deep is Medrano and Signs. 21 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The Hanna Eagles have captured the lead. Again, they trailed. They led early, but then they trailed for a long time. And it's the first time in a long time that they're on top. They lead 35-29. Payan with another good kick. Medrano's going to take this one back 9 yards again in the end zone, and he's going to take a knee and will bring it out to the 25-yard line for the 3rd time here in the third quarter. The Weslaco Wildcats will begin an offensive series from their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, you got 21 seconds to go in the third period. Then, of course, a 12-minute fourth period. Still a lot of football left to play. Just got to get things straightened back out. Both teams are trying really hard to be the higher seed.
Yeah, you want to end the season on a win. You want to start the playoff run at home. And that's what the winner will be able to achieve tonight. Cardoza in the backfield with Lefevre. Lefevre's going to take it. He's going to run it out to the right side. And he is going to step over a couple of Eagles and pick up about 7 yards.
You know, you talked about starting the playoffs at home, but a year ago, the Wildcats snuck into the playoffs, had a fight into the playoffs, go over to Vela, who at the time was the number 1 team in the Valley, for a win. So, you know, I know they're not afraid of Vela. It's just you would play a lower seed if you got to.
Yeah. Well, we have just finished the third quarter of play here at Sam's Memorial Stadium. It is Hanna Eagles 35, your Weslaco East Wildcats 29. We'll be back with fourth quarter action right here on K-West.
Before David Lozano started practicing law, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL athletics. He was a regional qualifier. He earned college credits through the dual enrollment program. After high school, he attended the University of Texas before graduating from St. Mary's School of Law. Now he helps people in need as an attorney. WISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For David Lozano, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville, Texas. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, John Boswell, and, of course, our cameraman extraordinaire, Vinny Berry, bringing you all this action between your Weslaco East Wildcats and the Hanna Eagles. Second down and 3. Lefevre with the pass to Banuelos. It's caught at the 39-yard line. Banuelos making some moves, and he's thrown out of bounds at about the 49-yard line.
I can't believe that the guy with the H on his back reached in his pocket and didn't throw the flag. And Coach Burgett's asking him, too, did you lose your flag there? And obviously he did, because no flag was thrown.
First and 10, Wildcats, their own 49-yard line. Good play there, good throw by Lefevre, good catch by Banuelos. Lefevre is going to keep this one. He drops the ball, but he falls on top of it. Coach, you talked about looking and stripping of the football, and that's exactly what Hanna did just right now. The young man did not even attempt to tackle Lefevre. He went right for the football.
Oh, yeah, that's good coaching right here on a wet day. You know, as much as Richards carried the ball, and he tends to kind of let the ball fling around a little bit. You know, he's got big hands, a big, strong kid. You got to really do a good job protecting the football.
Lefevre to throw. He's got Medrano. He hits him in stride, and Medrano is off to the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
What a job right there. Almost lose the fumble. Personal effort by Richard Lefevre for the recovery. Hit Medrano, who's been active on both sides of the ball tonight. Many of these guys have. And here comes the extra point. Here comes Orlando Fuentes, number 10, the young man they call Chucky. Right now, Joe, it's all tied up at 35.
It is 11-11 to go in the third. We've got double numbers in the middle and double numbers on the outside. 35-35 is the score, but that can change, and it will, because the extra point is good.
You know what's even better? It's 11-11. What's the date tomorrow?
11.
Yeah. November 11th is tomorrow. So, you know, I don't know if that's an omen or what, but 36-35, Wildcats fight back. Now, they need to get a turnover, Joe. Hanna has been right on the edge a couple of times, giving the ball up, and they have not. Other than what we have, one interception
And a stop.
So they need to get that ball turned over now. Let's see what the Wildcats got defensively. Neither team is going into the playoffs quietly. That's all I can say.
No, they're not. They're both wanting to go in, as we mentioned earlier, with a win and, of course, some momentum and, of course, a home playoff game. Chucky on to kick. Let's see who they send back. They normally have been sending back Matthew Garcia and Christopher Cardenas. And looks like that'll be that same duo back there. Chucky on to kick. Kick is away, and it's a good one. Garcia is going to take this one 6 yards deep, and he's going to take a knee. So we'll say that again. The next offensive series will start at the 25-yard line.
Well, you know, both kickers are doing a great job on a still night, kicking that ball into the end zone. Chucky and their kicker both have done a good job. Early, their guys were running it out. I don't know if they've got different guys back there or if they've gotten tired, but they're not running it out now. So still with 11-11 to go in the ball game, the Wildcats are looking for a turnover, looking for a defensive stop, looking to extend their lead.
Well, here come the Eagles on the field to begin this next offensive series. Their first of the fourth quarter. Cardenas and Mancias in the backfield. The handoff is to Cardenas. Cardenas is hit by Mikey Gonzalez, 3 yards deep in the backfield.
You know, Mikey's got to have 12, 15 tackles, Joe. From the outside linebacker spot, that's even harder to do, but he's got such a good read. You know, he was a quarterback growing up. He moved over, played some secondary. He got strong enough, not a big dude, but he's strong enough to play outside linebacker, doing a great job.
They're going to send Cardenas to the bottom of your screen. Campos rolling to his right, gets rid of the ball. It's caught by Ramirez on the far side of the field. He had to come back for that one. He's going to pick up about 5 yards, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, 3rd and 8. You know, good job. I think it was Carlos Espinosa coming off the edge there, giving them some heat. The Wildcats have gone almost exclusively to a 3-man line tonight and done a real good job defensively. You say, but Coach, they gave up 35 points. Well, you got to remember, one of those is a kickoff return.
Right. Some confusion on the side of the Eagles. They're going to go ahead and take a timeout with 9:59 to go here in the ball game. They were getting up to the line, and you saw the linemen kind of pointing at each other, and then you had the receiver on the left side of the field kind of pointing back. Looked like they didn't really know what was going on.
Well, they flipped the defense out there on the edge, brought Carlos Espinosa in like a blitz position, put another DB. So on the short side of the field, they were true man, but he was going to get immediate pressure. There's nobody that can block Carlos there, unless the back gets over to him. And if a back gets to him, then you can't put the back in the route. So they caused a problem there and maybe some confusion on who was responsible for that. So don't be surprised now if the Wildcats don't show that and then back out of it.
Right. 3rd down and long for the Eagles. 9:59 to go here in the ball game. Your Wildcats lead this one 36-35. They're going to send 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Cavazos is in the slot. Campos rolls out to his left. He's got pressure. He's going to turn around. Big 55 is going to bring him down. What I'm waiting for is a flag.
Okay, well, he's out of the pocket, but he ran back into the pocket, so that should be grounding. And he didn't get up sound, Joe.
No, he did not. And the ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage either.
You know, they had Mikey Gonzalez in a position where it looked like he was going to blitz. He recognized sprint out, picked up the 3rd receiver. There was no place for Campos to go with that ball. And it's going to be 4th down?
It's going to be 4th down and a lot.
Well, they haven't changed the chain yet.
Well, they will after they mark off the penalty.
There you go.
But Jacob Banda doing a good job. As soon as Campos turned around, he had Jacob Banda in his face.
Well, let me tell you about Jacob Banda. His older brother, John, moves into East about 8 years ago now, I guess, 7 years ago. And looks like he's going to be a stud defensive lineman, but we needed him on the offensive line, and he ended up being one of the best to ever play at East.
Bones back deep. They're going to fake this punt. No, they're not. Now he's going to kick it. I guess he saw the pressure and couldn't get the punt off cleanly. And so he decided to try a rugby-style kick, and the kick was shanked.
Well, what do you do when a punter doesn't punt the ball well? What do you say to him, Joe? Shank you very much.
Thank you very much. And that's exactly what the Wildcats are saying right now, because they're going to start this offensive series at the 27-yard line of the Hanna Eagles.
Once again, as the next punter and the next punt coach, he didn't punt for a 1st down. Tomorrow in film, I would tear him up. You didn't even punt for a 1st down.
So here we go. Tight formation, Lefevre in the empty gun. He's got guys pulling, and he's going to run with the ball 27 yards to the house. Brown jerseys on the ground.
Well, they've gotten that tight formation, and Richard was really patient there. Great job. And that was the cushion. The defense got them the ball, and that was just the cushion they needed. Richard, 27-yard run.
And it looks like they're going to go for two, Coach. They want this to be a two-possession game.
And
Lefevre's going to get it. What are they going to say?
Come on now. Are you kidding me?
They're going to say he is short. They're going to say the two-point conversion is no good. So with 9:31 to go here in the ball game, it is your Weslaco East Wildcats 42, the Hanna Eagles 35. Coach, they lined up in that tight position. They pulled a guard or a tackle. I don't know who they pulled, but then you got the running backs leading the way. There were brown jerseys just laying on the ground, and Richard Lefevre just ran right behind them.
Well, you get in those tight formations, Joe, and the defense tries to match it with what we call 11 in the box. Well, when you do that, once you break through the line, we saw this happen at Harlingen High late in the game. Richard broke through the line, and there's nobody left. Now, that was a longer field, and somebody ran him down, but he's fast enough to get 27 yards before you do.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's pretty hard to catch up to him if you're on the ground.
Yeah, and a bunch of you are piled together. You know, I've been in those pile-ups where it's your buddy who's on top of you.
So here we go. 9:31 left in the ball game. The Wildcats on top, 42-35.
Here's a big one, Joe. Wildcats have 3 timeouts left. Hanna has 1.
Fuentes, the kicker. Garcia's going to take it 2 yards deep in the end zone. He's going to bring it out. And he is hit at the 18-yard line by Freddy Cardenas.
You know what? Unbelievable, Freddie.
Robert Vera is in there as well.
Well, that's your starting inside backers. Those are supposed to be 2 of your best tacklers. And I bet you, if you watch the film, number 33, Mikey Gonzalez, was in the area. And I'm almost going to guarantee number 7, Alvarez, was also close.
1st and 10 for the Eagles at their own 19-yard line. 9:24 left in this ball game. Remember, Campos came up limping, and he's still got a little bit of a limp as he runs onto the field. Mancias in the backfield. He hands the ball off to Mancias, and Mancias is met at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I see Gerald Garza. I see Jacob Banda. And who's that getting up off the bottom? Is that 97? I'm not, yeah.
Yes, 97.
Yeah, that's Robert
Torres.
Yeah. So those 3 interior linemen, great job right there.
They're going to send 3 receivers down to the bottom of your screen. Empty backfield. Campos, the quarterback, looking to get the ball into the hand of Mancias. He does, and he's tripped up quickly.
By who? Let me tell you what. If a tackle's being made, there's probably a 3 on his jersey.
Mikey Gonzalez.
Yeah, 33, 3, 43.
23.
23. There's a good number of 3s out there making plays. There's other guys too, but wow.
That's going to be a pickup of 5 or maybe 4. They're going to say 5 because it's at the 24-yard line. 3rd down and 5. 8:25 to go here in the ball game. Clock is ticking. Mancias and Cardenas. Cavazos is now at quarterback. 10 seconds on the play clock. Campos takes the snap. Got pressure, gets the ball out to Cavazos, and he is met hard as soon as he catches it at the 18-yard line.
Number 26, Carlos Espinosa. You know, Carlos is tough, but he grew up in a house where people were telling him, you're not as tough as your sister Olivia, who was a state champ in powerlifting. You're not as tough as your sister Paula, who powerlifts and wrestles. You know what? He's tough, and that's a great play by junior, number 26. Good job there, Carlos.
Bones back to return this one. Matthew Garcia is the punter. Bones is lined up at his own 45-yard line. This is a better punt, but not a very good one. Takes a Homer Hanna Eagle bounce to about the 48-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it. The Weslaco East faithful on their feet and cheering their Weslaco East Wildcats on as they get set to get back onto the field on offense.
Joe, I want to take just a quick second to thank Dr. Priscilla Canales, Superintendent of Schools, WSD, the school board members, everybody that makes K-West possible, Athletic Director Big O, Oscar Riojas, Principal of Weslaco East High School, Dr. Raul Cantu, Mike Burgett, Head Football Coach, Athletic Coordinator, everybody involved, and of course the guys at K-West, Carlos, Mike, Julian, Don, Val, Vinny, Darlene, Joe Leal, everybody involved back at K-West. Mina, thanks for making this all possible. You got the best crew in the world bringing you action and everything that happens at WISD, because remember, Joe, what? WISD's what? It's
the right choice. So the Wildcats on offense, starting this drive at their own 38-yard line with 7:21 to go in the ball game, and they've got the lead 42-35. Empty backfield for Lefevre. He's running with the football. He's running over people across the 45 to the 46-yard line. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
Now, Joe, I love Richard Lefevre, and he and I have a lot of mutual respect. I never actually got to coaching, but he needs to cover that ball with two hands. You know, he's going to be the reason they win this game. Let's hope that he doesn't do anything to be the reason that they don't. And I know that would kill him to be in that position. He is one of those guys that said when Roy and JC and Freddie went down that it's not over. And it took them to the second half of the Los Fresnos game to really figure out that we can still play, and it's awesome to see.
2nd down and 1. Lefevre again with the football. Everyone on the defensive side of the ball is chasing Lefevre, but that's going to be enough for a first down. I don't think Burgett wants to fool anybody. He's going to say, look, we're going to line up and we're going to run right at you.
Well, you know, that's a horrible spot. You know, the two outside guys had that thing marked as a first down. And I hope he gets under center and goes quarterback sneak, because I don't like him taking it from back deep, but let's see.
Well, he is going to be under center this time. Takes a snap, runs out to the left side, and he's got the first down. That one is a no-doubter.
So right now we're looking at clock. They have the chance to stop the ball one time. First downs will stop it, but Coach Burgett's not in a hurry. Okay, so once they move the chains, they'll roll the clock. 5:51 to go. Each timeout, each first down is worth about 2 minutes.
They haven't started it.
There
Now
you
they
go.
have. So here we go. 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Under 6 minutes, 5:40 to go here in the ball game. 10 seconds on the play clock. Richard Lefevre under center. Gonzalez, the tailback. They're going to toss it to him. He's got some running room off to the right side, and he's going to be brought down at the 42-yard line.
There's a rookie that doesn't know stay in bounds. But you know what? We'll take the 8 or 9 yard play. Big number 44. Great job on the edge by Randy Cordoza. It's really hard to get a guy on the edge of the defense, and Randy did a good job there. Offensive line, Joe, has been awesome. We mentioned Steely. We mentioned Mario. Who else do we got out there?
Orlando Cabrera.
Kike.
Lefevre, this time he's going to take it across the 40 to about the 38-yard line, and that's going to be another Wildcat first down.
Yeah, remember we talked early in the game how this wore you out? There's almost no resistance at times from the defense for Hanna.
Yeah.
You know,
Jose Sanchez is another one of those linemen.
Yeah, and I see 75. And
That's Sanchez.
That's Sanchez. There should be Enrique Kiki Avila, number 64, 62, Brian Trevino. If we miss you, offensive lineman, we apologize.
Ramiro Aguirre is out there as well.
Yeah, great job. Who just went in? 62, maybe? Brian Trevino, I think we mentioned him.
Lefevre, empty gun. going to run up the middle. Some tough running to about the 36-yard line.
Well, you got 7 linemen on the field, Joe. No tight ends.
75 Diaz.
That's 7, 3 running backs, and Richard. That's your 11 guys.
They're going to say the 37-yard line. Bringing up a 2nd down and 8.
75, Alexis Gill. Jose Sanchez, you mentioned. Mario Trevino, 77. Of course, you got Carrasco in there, 36. You got Randy. Right now,
Josh Gonzalez.
looks like you got Josh. You've seen Josh in there. You've also seen Ibarra back there.
No, it's Gonzalez is back there right now.
Yeah, so Josh is in there right now. Coach Burgett's letting this thing run. There's 25 seconds on the play clock. Actually, the play clock didn't even run. So Coach Burgett was holding off from snapping the ball because the play clock had not ran at all.
Quarter score, San Benito Greyhounds 39.
So we've got a timeout on the field. I don't know who it's charged to unless it's an official's timeout to clear up the clock that you just pointed out, Coach.
Well, the Wildcats didn't call timeout, or their team's not even over. And Hanna, other than 2 guys, they must be really tired because they all went over there. I don't even think it was a timeout. I think it was a clock problem. And Coach Burgett's telling Richard, hold on. It should say 25 seconds, but once he blows it ready for play, it should start rolling, and it wasn't rolling at all.
So it looks like Mike is out there talking it over with the Hanna coach to find out what's going on up in the press box.
Yeah, the head coach, I believe his name is Mark Guess. He's done a great job here in Hanna. Hanna's really upgraded their coaches, their facilities. You know, they have the Valley's first indoor facility at Brownsville Rivera, and I think that'll be the next thing that comes with the heat and all the things going on. You can use it for other sports. You can have an indoor track workout in there. You can do all kinds of things as far as baseball and softball infield, maybe have an artificial mound in there so you can start working year-round, including the summer when it's 900 degrees outside.
In South Texas.
Yeah, and you know, all the colleges have them now.
Yes, that they do.
And all the high schools pretty much north.
And your metroplexes already have them.
Yeah, they already have them. So Brownsville has one. I'm sure they're going to find out what they did well and what they did poorly and start building them at the other schools. Because if I'm at Hanna and Rivera has an indoor facility, I'm saying, hey, wait a minute. When do I get one? That's kind of what happened with the weight rooms and
artificial turf.
Artificial turf. Well, the big stadium has one, and we got to practice on grass every day. You know, all the multi-high school town. Mission has 2 schools with turf.
So does Weslaco.
Sherryland, Weslaco. You're seeing that more and more and more. McAllen, all the schools have turf on campus now.
Right.
We were in their district, Joe, and they had the worst fields in the history of time. They had soccer teams out there working out. They had PE classes out there. And you go play a JV game over there, and it was like playing on concrete.
So some confusion on the side of the clock. Mike Buck out there with the staff and the coaching staff trying to figure all that out. So let's go ahead and take a timeout as they work on all that. We'll be right back with the last 4 minutes and 8 seconds of this ball game. Your Weslaco East Wildcats lead this one 42-35.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Sam's Memorial Stadium in Brownsville. Some confusion on the side of the clock, but we've got it all straightened out. And we now have 4 minutes to play here in the third. Maybe we don't have it all figured out.
Well, they rolled the clock, and usually coming out of a timeout, you roll the play clock, but you don't roll the game clock. They rolled the play clock.
The game clock will start on the snap. 25-second clock will start on my whistle. Thank you.
Okay, Mike Buck making sure that the press crew knows exactly what to do. The 25-second clock starts on the whistle, and the play clock starts on the snap. So they've got that all straightened out now. Power I formation. Gonzalez is the tailback.
You know, actually, I think when the Wildcats moved early, but he moved laterally, so it looked
It's
like
a
he went
motion.
motion, and it'll be interesting to see where this flag goes.
They're going to say offsides. That's the right call.
That's the right call based on what I saw. And you know what? You don't ever get breaks like that. Randy Cardoza was going to lead block on, I believe the toss was called.
So that's a 5-yard penalty assessed to the Eagles. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 3 from the 32-yard line. 4:08 to go in the ball game. No backs in the backfield for Lefevre. He's going to run off the left side, and he's going to jump over some people and get to about the 30. He's going to be about a yard short of the 1st down.
Well, you know, his name's not Mancia, so he didn't need to be jumping people at 250-plus pounds. I see Felix Vargas, who's entered the game, number 42, as another fullback. Hey, you're in 4-down territory. The clock's running. They only have 1 timeout. Coach Burgett's going to bring Richard all the way over here, talk to him, probably get it down to about 18 seconds, send him back with the play. Let's see, 17, yep, 18 seconds. I've been to the same clinics these coaches went to. That's when you want to send the play in when you're not in a hurry, is 18 seconds.
So here we go. Under center is Lefevre. Hanna has everybody in the box, and Lefevre is not going to be denied the 1st down. He just put his head down and rolled over everybody. He's down to the 28-yard line, and the chains will move for the Wildcats. 3:17 left in the ball game. The chains are set. Now the clock begins to move.
You know, I don't think I would hand the ball off. We talked about this at the end of the Harlingen game. Nobody should touch the football right now between the center and the quarterback. That's it. I wouldn't hand it off here.
Hanna has 1 timeout. Again, empty backfield for Lefevre. He's got some blocking. He's on his feet inside the 25 to about the 24-yard line.
Joe, if you're Hanna, when do you decide to use this timeout? You know, we're about at 2:40 right here, and we have 30 seconds on the play clock. So if they go right down, it would be at 2:10 when they snap this ball.
But that is a hard decision because you haven't been able to stop them. And if you do stop them, then you don't have the ball. You don't have a timeout to go. So I think they're going to wait to see if they do stop them on this next play before they decide to take that timeout.
Coach Burgett may take a timeout here. He's letting the clock run. I'm not really sure, but it looks like he took a timeout. So the Wildcats, with 2:10 to go, took a timeout. The next play will take them under 2 minutes.
That it will. Coach Burgett doing a real good job of clock management. Of course, he's got Richard Lefevre. You know, we've hailed him a lot tonight. We've hailed him a lot this season as a 3-year starter. He's the son of a coach, so football runs in his blood. He knows how to conduct. He knows how to command the offense.
Well, his grandpa was a coach. His dad was a player and a coach. His uncle was a player. I mean, it runs in the family. But you can say the same for Mikey Gonzalez, for Jaime Banuelos, for Steely Munoz, for Danny Salinas. Gosh, I know I'm missing some. But there's a good number of coaches' kids involved in the ball game. Of course, Coach Brown had son go through. You got Josh Pedraza down there, this Roy's dad. My son went through this program. Coach Guzman has had 3 go through the program. So it's, you know, you talk about the team as a family. Well, they're not lying when they're talking Wildcats.
Right. Well, the Eagles are now back on the field. Burgett still giving a few more instructions now. He breaks the huddle, and the Wildcats should now take the field with 2:10 to go in the ballgame. You talk about letting them on the field with 18 seconds on the play clock. But it doesn't matter because the game clock isn't moving. So power I formation. Gonzalez is the tailback. 11 in the box. Lefevre is going to take the snap and just go right up the gut, and he's still on his feet. He somehow just finds his way to the left side of the field, and it gets down to the 19-yard line, and that's going to be 3rd down and 1. When it looked like he was stopped right in the middle, he just kept going laterally, kept moving to his left, and he just somehow emerges on the left side of the field.
You know, and those Hanna defenders are starting to stagger around like boxers in the 15th round of a championship fight. They're not much fight left in them, and they're kind of on the stagger. You know, we're going to be at about 120 or so when this ball is snapped, unless Coach lets it run down and calls another timeout, which he may, because clock's more important than points right now.
It is. And if they convert this first down, the game is over.
Yeah. They'll be able to stop it once, but other than that, they'll be able to kneel.
But remember, they've got 2 downs to pick up 1 yard.
Yeah. And if they don't get it on third down, I got to believe that Hanna will take their timeout before it's fourth down, which you almost have to do. I don't think you mess out running Chucky out there and take a chance of a bad snap or it getting blocked or any of those things. I think you leave it in the hands of the offensive line that
Has brought you this far.
Let me tell you what, and how have they grown up this year, Joe? Early in the year, we heard how they had no linemen back and how young they were. There were times tonight where 7 offensive linemen are on the field, and all of them are coming back, I believe. I mean, Mario Trevino's the most experienced lineman they got. He's a sophomore. And
Right.
He's a two-year letterman.
Yeah, I was going to say, he started last year as a
Yeah.
freshman.
Crazy stuff. Oh, there's another coach's kid.
That's
Mario.
right.
Yeah.
He is a coach's kid.
I knew I was missing somebody.
So here come your Wildcats back on the field. 3rd down and 1 from the 19-yard line. 1:21 to go in the ball game. They're able to convert this one. This first down, the game is over because the Hanna Eagles don't have enough time on the clock or enough timeouts to stop the clock. And it looks like Lefevre is inside to the 17-yard line, and that's going to be a first down for the Wildcats. And from here moving forward, you're going to see the Wildcat formation.
Well, let me tell you what, a lot of respect for the Hanna Golden Eagles. You know, when the season started, you would have picked the Wildcats to make the playoffs. About 4 games in, when everybody was getting hurt, then a lot of people said they didn't have a chance. But nobody picked the Hanna Eagles when the season started.
No, they did not. But this Hanna Eagle team, they've only got 1 loss in district play, and that was, of course, to what's going to be the district champion and undefeated San Benito Greyhounds.
That's fine. They don't put the time back on the clock, Joe.
No, they don't.
And Hanna can stop at one time. So
And one time only.
And one time only. So East runs a play here. Now they don't worry about play clock. They need to run a play. And then it'll go 40 seconds unless Hanna stops it.
And that's going to be the ball game.
And I don't think Hanna's going to stop it. They're going to have to snap it one more time.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, they are.
They started the play clock, and there's a 3-second differential between the play clock and the game clock.
So, Joe, let's say this. The odds are, but stay tuned to K-West, watch Channel 4, Channel 5. The Wildcats will host the PSJ Bears next Friday at Bobby Lackey Stadium.
So here we go. Victory formation for the Wildcats.
And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Brownsville Independent School District,
We've got a flag, so it is not the last play.
congratulate both these teams on making the state playoff next week. Final score,
They're going to say, you know what, the game's over. It doesn't matter. The final score, your Weslaco East Wildcats, 42. The Hanna Eagles, 35. Regular season finale. Next week, we will be more than likely at Bobby Lackey Stadium as your Weslaco East Wildcats begin their playoff run, hosting the PSJA Bears. What a great season for these Wildcats. A season in which a lot of people counted them out, and now they are in the playoffs. For Coach John Boswell, Vinny Berry, I am Joe Aguilar bidding you a good night